Heyo. Heyo. Hey, it's Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The Godkiller. And people are always asking me, Eric, how do you get that fantastic hair? That fantastic hair that you have? And I say it's easy. 2 words. Monkey barber. Okay? You say, that's fun. What are you talking about, though? Okay, monkey barber. You go to the jungle. And they say, we don't have a jungle. No, everybody's got a jungle. Sometimes it's behind a dumpster. Sometimes it's adjoining a 7-Eleven. Sometimes it's underneath a highway overpass. But there's a jungle. You go to the jungle, and you don't get the first monkey you see, okay? You want to find the monkey that's doing like that grooming thing. It's got another monkey in front of him, and he's just picking out the little things. And he said, that's the monkey you want, the one that is doing that hardcore, like he loves it. Okay, you take that monkey, give him a shower, bring him home. Then you start teaching him. You start teaching him how to be a barber, and you got to learn all the monkey signals, like the hair, shorter, stuff like that. You have to establish a basic vocabulary for hair cutting. Okay, then you just lie back, and that monkey at this point, probably a couple of years have gone by when you've been training him, but at this point, that monkey just loves you. That monkey loves you so much. You've spent so much time together, and you can trust that monkey. And you lay back in your chair, and you just let that monkey go to town on you. Just chop, 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 and you get perfect hair that looks like this, and it doesn't cost you anything, just bananas. You just got to pay that monkey in bananas and love, and he will cut your hair for you, and you'll get good hair that looks like mine, and that's how you do it. Now, if you're not ready to make that commitment, you're not ready to have good hair like I do. So the other thing people want to know about is my game, and let me give you a demo of it. Okay, so I always start these things with a demo. Always, almost every time. Unless something's really wrong, then I won't do a demo. It would have to be like my monkey barber died, and I'm coming on to tell you how sad I am, and I can't give you a demo. No, I'm gonna give you a demo. Don't worry. Okay. What did I do yesterday? I did these bonus boxes. I made them a little more special. I want to hit play and show you the bonus boxes, and also you get to hear them because there's a sound effect I added that makes them better than they were before. I'm just maxing the volume. It might be way too loud for me. That's about right. There, that's it. Before it was just, there's no sound, and the box disappeared, and these bonus boxes are supposed to be something special, so obviously I had to do better than that. This isn't like blowing me away. There might be further refinements to it, but I feel like it's good enough. I could ship with this. It reminds me a little bit of the intro to it's ancient history, nobody will know it, but there was like this thing that would come on before, like a cartoon special would show on network television, and the logo kind of looked like this. Now, another thing that's a little bit nifty about that sound effect is that it will play in any of the keys in the chromatic scale. I just have to set the key, and this and any other melodic sound effect will play in key. So many sound effects are musical instruments. In fact, right now all of them are. Some are melodic, some are not. Like that percussion sound you hear is not melodic. But anything that's melodic playing key. And that key could be A major, C sharp minor, any of, is it 12 or 26 possible combinations? Normally there would not be so many bonus boxes just laying all over the place. The rule is every level gets one bonus box. Okay, a little bit later there's going to be key changes that are coordinated to happen with parts of music. So there'll be music that plays in the level, a song of sorts. Why did I say of sorts? No, it'll be a proper song. There'll be a proper song playing in the level, and there'll be key changes in the song, and whatever sound effects that you initiate by your actions will play in sweet harmony with the music. So that's that. What am I doing today? Because I always like to have every session have some kind of goal to it, and I will beat myself up trying to get that goal done. That helps me. That helps me a lot. It helps me to have a very long project split up into nice chunks. Each one, I get done with it and I go, yeah, I feel good. Eric is still doing the work. He's getting things done. He's getting progress done every single day. That keeps me going. Keeps me going because, like, in other parts of my life, progress is not so clear, and it's harder to find it. And there's lots of things outside of my control. These things are under my control, and I can get that little hit, that progress hit, every single day. I just got to give myself some kind of task I can get done in the session, and I'll get my hit. I get the progress hit. Okay. Axles. Axles. How do they work? I guess I'll stick with this level. I'll get rid of some of these guys because they were kind of hassling me too much. That's a good thing about being a game developer is you get to be a deity of the world that you create. These little guys, there's too many of them. I just get rid of some of them. These guys up here, what are they up to? I don't think there needs to be that many of you. Let's get rid of some of you. Alright. So, an axle. Let's drop an axle. Drop it into the level. There's a bug in the axle that's been bothering me. And it seems to be something like, okay, I'll start with one spoke. And that spoke is created in the editor. And I've got some code in here that will, add prefabs of the spokes depending on what you click here in these options. So that code is hooked to onValidate, and I think the repro is when I start from the editor, it's going to create an extra copy of the spoke here. Let me see if that's the case. I'll be able to tell, I think, from the console window, because it's been giving me messages about reorganizing an extra copy. So let me try it. So it's correct for it to move the axle. That's not the message I was looking for. Let me go over there and I'll show you what the axle is, because you may not know what an axle is. That's an axle. I suppose like a better name for it might be like a turnstile. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to hit unplay and I'm going to see if I've got an extra message or axle creation. Okay. Has it created an extra? Nope, not yet. Okay. I gotta see if I can get it to screw up. Oh, first let me turn off the maximize on play. Ah, there it is. Moving AF spoke pattern clone to level. So now I know that it created an extra, but did it do it right when I hit play? Alright, so now if I go to the scene, I can just tell by looking at it, because it's like a whiter color, that there's actually an extra spoke there. Okay, so let me try deleting that. I want to see if when exactly does it make this extra spoke? Yeah, it happens somewhere around when I hit play. So it could be level exiting. It's gonna be nice to fix this. So I wonder if I couldn't just solve this by saying that I'm not going to apply in certain states. What is the state that this is getting called? I know on validate gets called at some extra times besides you changing the values in the inspector. And it always confuses me that it gets called that extra time. It seems kind of wrong to me. Okay, let's see. What was it? If application is plain, maybe that's when it calls it. I really only want this to run in the editor, and maybe it is running during edit time, but it's being called once before play begins. I'm not sure yet. So I'll start out with that. That might That might resolve it. Is that more readable to me? So I'm saying apply is equal to true if it's already true, or it's equal to is the application not plain. Okay, I get it. I can go along with that. Alright. I'm glad I got a repo, though. A reproducible behavior. Okay, I did it again. So I'm guessing it's not while it's playing that it does this. It's while it's exiting the editor. I want something else there. Is there something I can query here? I know there is like a... There's an event that gets called when the state changes. Let me see what I wrote for that already. Play mode state change. So I'm guessing maybe there's like an editor application play mode. Let me check that. There we go. That looks really smart. That looks like almost exactly suited to what I need. Of course, my hopes are often dashed. And I'm assuming it's on validate that's calling now. I could be wrong. Did it just make another one just now? Just because I saved it? Alright, this is starting to irritate me. Is there a more fundamental way for me to protect against this? It wouldn't be so bad if it was if it was calling that code and kind of cleaning up the old prefab before creating the new one, but it's just making an extra one, it looks like. So here, also I'm missing the spoke here, so let's delete that. Yeah, so I've made it worse somehow. Okay, I need to see how the code is being called. It's not really doing it right now, as I would expect it to. So now I think I found the second bug, where if I save it, does it create? Yes, it does. When I save it, it will create okay. So this code here is my scene organization code. Now is that triggering this weird behavior? Delete that. Fix this. So, and there should also be a check here that will say if the variables that were used to yeah, let me just change this back to apply equals true. It should be able to recognize right inside of here if the operation would be redundant, and it should stop it. Alright, so let's start the debugger. Okay, so this is already weird. It's making me think like, oh, no, this is right. North present, south, west, and east not present. Okay, that's good. Okay, so then we get the new hash. Oh, maybe this is wrong. Okay, so the last AF hash is that. What's the new one? Looks the same. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, so that so far correctly worked. Also, I'm going to ignore my advice on this a little bit later and just delete this code. It goes against the personal policy. I don't like to leave old unused code in the project. So, is it going to get called again? No, that's fine. That's fine. So far, I'm good. Now, if I save, what happens then? Okay, I don't get that. Because when I saved, it created an extra offset, which doesn't quite make sense to me. And it yanked out this. Okay. This is a mystery. So I think I need to set breakpoints on any code that might instantiate the prefab and just see how it gets called. The first place I thought it might be called from, here, it's not where it gets called when it messes up. Okay, so here's how it works. It will say, get these variables that represent all the inputs that should go into creating prefabs. The spokes are prefabs. Okay? And then it says, give me a hash code of those variables. Does the new hash code match the old hash code? In this case, it doesn't, because the last hash was based on the north spoke not being present. So when they don't match, then it says, okay, it's time to just redo our prefabs. And we say, first of all, just remove any of the prefabs for the spokes that we already have, because we're just going to recreate them from scratch. Get AF root transform. This transform is my one and only axle in the scene. and it will have a transform to an offset. All this code is just edit time, right? Oh, maybe not. Should be. I don't think I want to create this at runtime. I think it should only be at edit time. Okay, so we're going to add a north spoke. Okay. Okay, so that's one important thing, is that I'm about 95% certain that the object that was created had to have been created from this function. So I'll set a breakpoint here. There's one other maybe explanation for it, but right now I think whatever code is happening that's doing this is calling the AF instantiate. All right, just play. Don't crash on me. Come on. It's hard enough. It's hard enough to make a game that doesn't crash when the dev tools are just doing the crashing for you. And then my project gets corrupted in weird ways. And why does it get corrupted? Because I have to force quit my dev tools about once a session. It's just sort of like playing Russian roulette with your project files, because you force quit and maybe there's a state which has been saved to some files but not others. And when you force quit, the application that would be in charge of updating that state could be caught in some place where there's no integrity to what it's written in the files. They don't hold together. So every fucking time the dev tools decide that they're going to crash on me, and I gotta, or infinite spin on me, and I gotta force quit them, it's just like I'm taking a gun with maybe 100 chambers in it and one bullet and just shooting it right into the heart of my project. So it doesn't make me happy, especially not when the last Resurrection took me about a month. I mean, I did it in a slow way. I did it in an inefficient, well, not inefficient. I did it with other tasks besides just getting the project working again, which slowed it down further. But still, it's very unwelcome to me to have my dev tools be so fucking flaky. Very unwelcome. By the way, web development, my tools there, they don't do this shit. They do not. So that's on Unity and Microsoft. Fix your shit, man. Come on, fix it. Stop wasting my time. Okay, I just force quit the debugger. I no longer trust the state of Unity IDE, so I'm going to quit it. It's going to ask me if I want to save. I'm going to say don't save, because I don't trust the state that I'm in anymore. And I'll probably have to force quit Unity as well. I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait a tiny little bit. But I don't got all day. Man, I got shit to do. I got stuff I want to do. I told you progress was important to me. This is not progress. Okay. I didn't have to force quit. That much was good. At least not for Unity. I'd rather force quit the debugger in Visual Studio than I would Unity, because the debugger is not going to write to project files. Alright, so restart. All right. Okay. Okay, this is garbage. Take that out. Alright, I just delete this. I guess I'll say Okay. It's good to have a few places to go back in time too with Git. Okay, so let's take this out. It won't help with the bug I'm tracking, but it's just a little bit of house cleaning. Warning, what warning? Okay. Yoink it out. Damn, I try this again. I'm gonna try this again. These two messages I would love to get rid of. They were probably outside of my control for the time being. Okay, so now I see another problem. Offset being created underneath AF spoke pattern. Okay. Okay, let me do the... Oh, wait a minute. No, offset's under here too? Oh, maybe that's correct. That could very well be correct. Yeah, that's probably just a grouping thing. Okay. That's interesting. Because I didn't realize there's a second one of these. So if I look at spoke pattern, it's got an offset. Okay, now that is allowing me to consider a different theory. And the theory is that my AutoFab code is not creating a different it's not creating a different prefab. What could instead be happening is that my scene organization is grabbing these two objects and moving them somewhere. So let me try just running organize scene. Scene organization happens when you save. I just do that. That's so annoying. Okay, so it is grabbing that for some reason. It's like I can put it back to normal just by going like that and like that. So yeah, I think that might be where the heart of this is. Or it's definitely one problem to solve. It might not be both of them. Or it might not be the only problem. Yeah, this was the one that was supposed to catch it. Go must not be part of a prefab instance. I'm guessing that in the upgrades to Unity that I did, the code here maybe used to work but doesn't now. Could be using some deprecated API that's broken maybe. Okay, let me, I want to set a breakpoint, but it needs to be, specific to the object that objects I want to track. I think if I just set it to get this name. Also, when I put these back, I put them the wrong way, so let me just redo it. Don't. There's a bunch of garbage in there. Just had to put some kind of statement in there so I could have a breakpoint. I suppose this would be better. Let's do a debug. Let's try it. Here we go. So this is it. So it is active in the hierarchy. think it's under the game object under level path. I think that second one would be true, which means the overall thing will be false. So it should go past that. It will not have a path matching any of these. Okay, this is the one that I want to be true, but it's probably going to be false. Okay, I think it will have a prefab instance handle. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. What the hell? This feels like an API that used to work and isn't now. Man, I know it sounds like I'm whining, but I find this bothersome because I'm reading the description of the function and that function implies that it would return true or would return instance handle, but it did not. In general, all of these functions that have to do with is it a prefab, is it connected to another thing, is there anything related to its status as a prefab has been mysterioso. There's functions that return null when they're called, and there's no documentation of when they would return null. They just do, and there's no error message. There's stuff like that. All the stuff related to prefab is kind of fakaka like that. So I've gotten to the point where I just feel like I can't even trust anything related to prefabs. Any code related to prefabs. So it just returned null on what must be a child of a game object that has a prefab instance. When you go to the editor, you can see it. It's blue for prefab. So I know this is going to fuck up from this point on. Might as well hit play. It'd be great if you didn't make me force quit again. I'm on the road to another force quit. Oh, here we go. Back to normal. Good. Okay. Old code used to work, doesn't work now. No explanation. But let's just put that to there. That there. Oh, you know, there is one good explanation for it not working. Yeah, I may owe somebody an apology for my rant. Okay, so this spoke pattern was never part of the original prefab, the axle prefab. I simply added it. I added it to this instance here. So if I called that same function on offset, offset would work just fine. I'm almost certain that's it, because it didn't move offset. It only moved this thing that got instantiated and the child underneath of it. It only moved those two. So let me think, is there some other way that I can tell this is part of that? It might be under like So I keep coming back and checking this. This is me trying to get rid of some of those console errors. Okay, so what was I doing? Okay, Unity prefab utility. One of my least favorite classes in Unity, prefab utility. Just don't trust it. I don't trust it. So this might be something. Okay, that looks healthy. I suspect that it might move over just one of these two. It might move over offset, but I can tell soon enough. Okay. Okay, that looks like a useful addition. Okay, it worked in the way I thought it might. So it correctly found out that this was part of Axel, but it hasn't yet figured this one out, and I have to maybe make some more complicated logic to do that. Let me see if there's any helper method that will let me avoid writing the logic that I don't really want to write. Search for anything related to override. Man, there's so many criteria here. Is part of non-ACID prefab instance. That might be true as well. I mean, that might catch these other objects. Let me try this one. That sounds promising. Oh, wait a minute. No, didn't work. Okay, I think I need a new way to get information about what all these different things do. Let me just... Oh, it's just awake. I want to learn. I want to stop guessing. I don't want to be a monkey pounding on a typewriter that eventually, 10 million years from now, manages to make a working game. Where does prefab utility come from? I'm guessing the editor. Huh. Okay. Yeah, well, if that's the case, then let's put all this in inside of the editor. Okay. Okay, what else do I want to learn about? Just get everyone that I care about, or might care about. There's a bee that got in. I shut him in my bathroom for now. I'll go deal with him later. I'm in the middle of something. I can't go kill a bee right now. What else do I care about? Jesus, so many of these. I'm not even doing all of them. I'm just like doing all the ones that seem like there's some chance they might be relevant to what I'm trying to do. I guess I'd rather have too many of these methods than not enough. Okay, what's this? What are you expecting? So I want 7 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Try that. Build all that. I don't even think I need it, so let's just yoink it. Okay. Let's fix this again. Okay. So now I've got all this stuff set up. And what I can do that. Does this thing do line feeds? So if it did, then I could just Yeah, that's a better way to do it. Okay, so this one is the one that should move. Oh, come on. Okay, good. So it's not an object override. Is it part of a non-asset prefab instance? It is. I don't get that. Yeah, what is an asset versus a non-asset prefab instance? I don't understand. Is any prefab instance root? True. Has prefab instance any overrides? Yes, it does. Is it disconnected? No, it's connected. Is it the outermost? Yes, it is. Is it part of any prefab? Yes, it is. Is it part of a prefab asset? No. Yes. Yes. No. Okay. That mostly made sense to me. If one of these was true for all of them, that could be useful. Is part of any prefab. True, 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 right? Is part of any true, offset, true. Okay. But I also, I need to see if I can have like a negative case. So lighting should not be part of any prefab. Good. So I could say, is it part of any prefab? If that is true, then we're not moving it. It is a check. Okay. If it's part of any prefab, but it's not the outermost prefab instance root. False. True. Okay. Let's just clear this and let's just add the stuff that I want. Okay. So Axle is part of any prefab root, or is part of any prefab instance, but it is also the outermost instance, so I won't move it. Next one, going down one. No. So I could move it. I could move it if with the last criteria. Okay, for this one, is it part of any prefab asset? No, not that one. Instance, yes. But it's not the outermost, so I'm not going to move it. Okay. Next. This one is not part of a prefab instance, so that logic can't work that way. Okay. The only thing I know about it that gives me a clue is this, maybe. Okay. And the last one. As far as prefab utility is willing to say to me, there's no evidence of it being associated with a prefab instance in any way. So the task falls to me to learn for myself if any of the object's parents are not a prefab instance, but an override. Boy, this is complex. But I think I can do it. Okay. So just write a few notes here to remind myself later what this is for. For learning about the complicated as fuck prefab attributes of any geo. Temporarily add the component to the geo to look at. But then delete, especially before you build the player. As this will be a missing reference at player build time. Okay, so I'm just reminding myself to not leave that shit in there. And I still might, but then I'll see this message and it'll tell me what I need to do. Okay, this is true. This does nothing. Okay. What's up? What's up? T. Kinter. I don't know what is T. Kinter. Seek for the override. What's up? Don't be a bot. Don't be a shill. Be a real person, please. tkinter, Python interface to TCL/TK. Yeah, I'm not a Python guy. I'm a Unity, C#, JavaScript also guy, and going further back, Java, C++, PHP, and C, and Visual Basic. HyperCard, if I go way back. Atari Basic, if I go way back. MBasic, if I go back to the very beginning. Okay. So the other thing I need to figure out is what is my exit criteria here. I think it's okay for me to just keep it this simple. I will I'm either gonna hit the root parent, which means going up maybe a maximum of like 4 or 5 levels. That's not too bad. And this is edit time code anyway, so who cares? Or I'm going to find a game object override. That this child is a part of, in which case I'm in good shape that way too. I could do on a capitalize Go. So. Forget that. Alright. So the code stayed mostly the same as it was before, but I added a check here to see if we're going to have an override. If it is an override, I just automatically assume it's a child of a prefab up above. I mean, actually, logically it has to be. An override must be associated with a prefab. Okay. So then we say it's not an override, and it doesn't have a prefab instance handle. I admit I don't remember how this code down here worked, but I'm willing to kind of accept it as is, because it was working and doesn't seem to have any doubt cast on it. And the new code I don't think is going to affect the old code. So let me just test it. It won't be hard to test. Oh, right, okay. So it worked on this guy, but it did not work on this one. Put this guy back up here. Rename him so that I can have something to set a breakpoint on. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. That's probably all it is, but let's go ahead and yeah. That was probably it right there. Okay, so then cool. I think it'll work. Was I wrong? Where'd it go? No, it's there. I don't know what happened there. Maybe my eyes just didn't see it. I don't know what happened. Okay, so it's there. So then let's try the case for moving axle. I'll stick axle in the wrong place. Okay. And let's organize the scene. Okay, it moved axle. It moved all those. Okay. That's one case. If I do save, it's just going to organize the scene. So that's what. Okay. So the question is, did I fix the other bug I had for creating duplicates when I hit play? I suspect I did. Yeah, organizing scene takes a long time. Okay. I kind of don't want this code to run at playtime. I don't know that it needs to. What is... Maybe I just don't run this at playtime. I mean, this is editor code. And it won't run anyways. And when I build the player, so I shouldn't be running it at playtime. I'll show you one thing which I think is fun. Change the key, and then I'll go pick up another bonus somewhere. I can stop it, or I can change the key midway through. I gotta be fast though. Might be my favorite chord right here. I love this chord. Being self-indulgent. And you know why? Because the game is fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. You'll get to play it. You'll get to play it someday, but it is fun. Okay. So the question is, did I get an extra one? No. That was the bug. I found the bug. I solved the bug. Bug done. Okay. It's 6:52. I got more juice. I could do a little more. A little more though. I don't want to like bite off more than I can chew. Maybe like just something short, something 20 to 30 minutes long. That's what I want to do. Oh, I know I can do. It's anticlimactic though. I can remove this prefab attributes thing. Done. It was not a large enough task. I need something else. In my blackjack hand, I currently have 16. And I don't want to bust. But I'm going to say hit me one more time. I just got to find a small, bite-sized task. Let me look through my to-dos. Not ready to do that. What was my point in having this in the first place? So I decided either I would use 2048 or 1024. But I think 2048 was the one that I ended up using. Let me double check. M face sheet. No, this one's 1024. So maybe I decided I only needed 1024. That kind of seems right. Let me turn the face sheet on, and I'll see what I think of the resolution. For that, let's maximize on. Okay, this is what I'm going to do with this little bit of time. I'm going to figure out which of those two classes to keep and delete the other. Okay, I think 1024 is going to be enough. Okay. So I think 1024 is a good enough choice, and I think I can get rid of 2048. Let me make sure I'm not referencing it someplace. Face sheet 2048. Oh, maybe the MAW uses it. And that would make sense. The MAW seems to need it. Just killed a bee. But the freaky thing is that there was a bee in the bathroom, and I thought I had it shut in the bathroom, so maybe there's two bees. And if there's two bees, maybe there could be more bees than that even. It's freaking me out. I'm allergic to bees. Alright. But I killed one of them. I just killed one. I did battle with the bee, and the bee lost. Makes me feel kind of bad. What's the bee know? I mean, the bee isn't here to bother me. It's just, I thought this would be a good place to reside, and it is not. Stay the fuck out of my house, bee. I'm sorry. You come here, I gotta kill you. Okay, so 2048 was hooked up to the maw, and I remember that the maw seemed to really need as much resolution as I could give him. He did not do well at the lower resolution, and even debatable if I gave him enough resolution at 2048. So it seems like there might be a need for both types of face sheets. This is very not dry though. This is pure copy and paste. I picked something I thought would be easy. It's going to be a little bit hard. I might bust on this one. I don't want to. So, oh yeah, this is a static class. It's not attached to anything. It's just giving me it's giving me different recs to look for data inside of the, or bits inside of the face sheet, pixels inside of the face sheet. My options. It's time to make a pocket plan. Okay, requirements. 124 by 124 for over figure faces. 2048 by 2048 for the maw. Dry solution. Meaning I don't want to have the exact same code copied and pasted between these two things like I currently have. Like, one of them might already be different and have a bug fix in it that the other doesn't have. So I want it to be dry. Don't repeat yourself is what dry stands for. Okay. So number one, first thing I could do. It's already falling apart as I type it. Yeah, I don't know if it would work. This is a static class. It's probably not a bad way to do it. Okay, so when I get down to here, now I don't need to have this in all of them. That's for sure. I can just have it one static constructor and that should do it. I'm pretty sure that's how I want to do it. So let's do that. Let's see. Is there anything that would be easier than that or better than that? It's not bad. It's not nothing wrong with that solution. So the first thing is to get some kind of struct that holds this. Why does it do that? So stupid. Okay, so I can just delete these. I can probably delete this is initialized thing. I don't really like that. You know, another thing is I can just reuse these constants and multiply them by 2 for 2048 and everything should work out. Except, maybe. Okay, so let's say go. Wait, all these rectangles are specified as percentages. I don't even know if the scale factor matters. Wow. Yeah, all of them. All of them are percentages. Oh, this is bizarre. So the advice I gave myself much earlier should be correct. I'm not even gonna continue here. Let's see, get status. Just take yeah, first save it. Then you go get status. And we'll just revert this guy. Okay. So then all the changes I just made should be gone. Get rid of that. Okay, which one's this? 2048? Okay, so I'm just gonna try deleting. Okay, cool. Just gonna try deleting that, just like I originally said. And I know that that will cause a syntax error. But this doesn't have to be face sheet 2048 because all the percentages are, all the coordinates are specified not as pixel coordinates, but rather as percentages, and all the proportions are the same. Okay. Just fix a few stylistic things here. decided I don't really want to add the keyword private anymore because by default things are private, and there's no point in writing it if it's not going to change the access. Okay, so that should do it. Build that again. And I just over edited. Just add that back in. Okay. Okay. Let me just make sure that the face still displays. And just for fun, I'll give her a different emotion when we start up. Yeah, I thought I had an emotion here. Nah, never mind. Let's just do it. Okay. That is a session. That is victory. It smells good. Victory over problems that come up with my game, and victory over bees. At least one of them. I'm going to go in the bathroom next and see if there's another bee in there, and if there is, I'm probably going to kill it. Or he'll kill me, one of the two. You'll find out tomorrow. If a bee is hosting this stream, you'll know that I was not victorious. Talk to you later. Stopping the stream.